in the UK was Joey Carbstrong. He was invited along to the This Morning program, which is basically the Today Show here in Australia, Sunrise, or any morning show in the entire world. He was invited along to represent the vegan side of the argument, and also a lady whom happened to be a hunter was invited as well. Now, I've spoken about Joey Carbstrong, real name Joey Armstrong, on this program before, and he didn't enjoy it at all. In fact, he made 2 response videos in 2 days, both going for like 30 minutes, just carrying on.
Okay, for my reaction for that is about the hot pork chop and everything, and just carrying on about what Isaac was like, explaining with the being on the UK television show, which is kind of like the morning show here, but over in the UK, just talking about veganism and vegetarian and so on. How was he just complaining and going on like a hot pork chop or something like that, when you can do reaction videos on Joey and just carry on about how selfish you are and how uncompassionate you are towards defenseless animals? So for you to say that, you're a bit of a...
Welcome to another video. Hello *IssacButterfield supporters, if you're watching this. If you don't know who I am, I'm Joey Carbstrong. My real name's Joseph Armstrong. I'm from Australia. I'm an ex-gang member. I used to be addicted to drugs.
Shut the fuck up, Joey. No one gives a shit if you thought you were some tough crackhead back in the day. Nobody cares, dickface. Little Joey boy, and here's a hot tip, was arrested, allegedly, it's probably well known, but allegedly, I'll use it so I don't get sued, in 2011 for concealing a sawn-off shotgun along with ammunition. You sound like a top bloke, Joey. Why don't we all just set our moral compasses off you, fuckhead? Hurting animals? No. Shooting people? Maybe.
Okay, so what he just said there, he obviously is in denial of what his values is on life. Now, okay, people can come from a bad background, okay? Their family may have been abusive, and then they just brought up around abusive parents and getting in the wrong crew, like, getting into gangs and so on. I also had that same issue. Like, my family wasn't bad. They weren't drug heads or crackheads or anything like that. They were pretty normal, I guess, kind of. But obviously my parents were working like full-time, and they didn't really have time for us, so we didn't have babysitters and so on, so we mostly just explored our town and got into trouble, and then got into gangs as well and so on. Wasn't our parents' fault per se. They could have like got a babysitter or something like that, but it was just the environment that you grow up in is obviously not who you are. So maybe peer pressure and all that to do drugs and hurt other people and so on is a true thing. Yes, it is, scientifically and logically speaking, that is. But when you leave that environment and become your own individual person, like live with yourself and all that kind of stuff, be very independent, or somewhat independent, you obviously find yourself and find your true self. So maybe back in the past, whatever you've done in the past, even if you're a murderer, I guess, of humans, and also you eat meat, so that's murder anyways. But if you murdered a person in the past by accident or just on purpose, there's always a second chance in life, okay? Sometimes 3 if you're lucky, but other than that, there's no 4th or 5th chance. Because if you're still stupid enough to do it the 3rd or 4th time, then maybe you shouldn't deserve a 4th or 5th chance. But the thing is, what you do in the past, even if it's just teen ants or just rebellion or anything against your parents and so on, obviously when you become an adult, you actually realize that was just being a teenager, being a stupid teenager or 20-year-old, that you did these stupid things, and now you're an adult and you're somewhat independent or independent fully, and you have a job and a life and all that. You actually look back to that and go, well, how stupid I was, kind of thing. So for you to use that against Joey Carbstrong, saying that, oh, he came from a violent territory where he was in a gang and he had like a shotgun and ammunition and so on, to say that, oh, hey, Joey can't be a vegan and turn his life around completely, be compassionate to humans, animals, and everything alike, is you denying yourself, because you, yourself, Isaac, aren't perfect. And you yourself might have done drugs and everything in the past as well. You probably bashed up a few people maybe, or to be honest, when I look at you, you actually look very submissive, so you probably got bashed up yourself. So in that sense, everyone can change. Like, you became a YouTuber, you're somewhat famous, and, you're better off. And it's exactly like with Joey. Joey turned his life around completely, just like I have too. I came from bad issues in the past, like gangs, also sold myself for money. I've been in certain videos as well, and so on, and collabed with a lot of semi-famous YouTubers, but then they decided to, well, ditch me, kind of thing, and then I became homeless and so on. So I've been through all that kind of bullshit, and at the moment I'm in a somewhat okay situation where I am also vegan, and I changed my life around completely, how I look on other people and how I choose to live my life. And no, it's not a choice. You just grow up to the sensibility of, not being selfish and actually thinking about other people other than yourself.
Beganuary, I think,
which is now January. Beganuary. Okay, so
yeah, that's when people pledge that they go vegan for this month.
It's a bit of a taster of veganism.
So Joey appears on this program and he proceeds to crack the mega shits.
This morning by vegan activist Joey Armstrong, alongside...
What the fuck is that look? Go back, Isaac. What the fuck are you looking at there, Joey? You're supposed to be a professional here, mate. You are promoting veganuary to the entire world, and you can't believe you're on fucking telly. You're looking straight down the barrel of the camera. We can't believe you're on telly either, dickhead.
Is what Isaac was just looking at with Joey's reaction, going like that, was Joey likes to be called Joey Carbstrong, okay? But what the TV presenters said was Joey Armstrong, and he was just like, wow, you can't even get my name correct. So that was his reaction. He wasn't looking at the camera or anything. He was just like looking around going, Wow, really?
Rachel Curry, who actually hunts and kills her own meat.
She hunts and kills her own meat. Now, I'll be honest right here, this may be a weird concept for a lot of people, particularly if you live along the east coast of Australia or you live in a big city. Hunting is the best way to harvest meat. It just is. Because I know it sounds like a crazy thing, like, oh, you're going to go and kill an animal with a bow and arrow or a gun, and that's a bit of a crazy thing to do. That's very, it's very morbid. You're taking a life. But you're doing it in a way that is the nicest way possible. We as the human race need meat to live a healthy life. Now, I know Joey's going to watch this.
He just said Joey might watch this and pause it just there on the moment. Well, I paused it just there on the moment because it is a great place to pause it. What he just identified as hunting is the most ethical and nicest way to kill an animal. Well, in a sense, it is somewhat true, but you are, in a sense, still taking a life, an innocent life that is happy to live a life in the wild with their families and friends, because animals can have friends too, so don't just humanize that, because that's very specious of you. And you know, they want to live in happiness and harmony, not get threatened by their life and getting hunted down like they're just a pest kind of thing. Like us humans, we don't want to be hunted down as a pest. Like, you know, if we were back in the past, like Jewish people or black people or any kind of race, we were all hunted down to almost extinction, by the way. And none of us wants to live like that now. Imagine if your day tomorrow you woke up and then somebody had a gun at your head saying, you know, you have to not exist anymore. It's like, it's very bad to think that way. So what he just identified as like hunting and all that is ethical and peaceful and all that. In some way, it's better than factory farming. And if you really think that you need to live a healthy life on meat, which is impossible because statistically speaking, logically speaking, scientifically proven, and everything else that is backing up vegans altogether, because our argument cannot be solved. Like we can solve your argument, but you must first be open-minded to the concept that veganism is actually the key to saving humanity and the world and animals altogether and the environment. I think I just said the environment, but yeah. But what he just stated is somewhat true. Hunting is okay, I guess, but you're still taking an innocent life. And if you can take an innocent life with your own bare hands, not using weapons, because if we are real carnivores or omnivores or whatever, we can use our bare hands to kill animals and then eat the animal flesh raw, because animals don't eat other animals cooked, obviously. So that's my argument.
We've got 15 scientific studies here. We've got 15 anecdotal pieces of evidence here. Listen, you're wrong, etc., etc. You're forgetting, Joey, one piece of the puzzle. I like eating meat. I don't give a fuck what you think. If an animal has to die for me to live healthily and enjoy a meal, then that mother...
Wow, Isaac. That statement that you just made where if an animal has to die for me to eat meat, then that animal's going to die because I like eating meat. That is the most... it's ironic, okay? And in the sense of ironic is... imagine if somebody came up to you in public or at home or you're dating that person, they turned around to you and said, you know what? I like watching starving African children on TV because I think it's funny, because I like it. And if starving African children have to starve for me to get entertainment from it, then, well, they can starve. You know, or in that sense, in another category where, oh, hey, I like murdering Jews. Let's say Hitler here, okay? Might be flagged for this video because I'm mentioning Hitler and Holocaust and all that kind of stuff, but hey, you know, this is the truth, and if you don't like the truth, then you can just not click on this video or share it, or watch it. Anyways, it's like, you know, you're dating somebody who loves Hitler and they like killing Jews, and they actually go out at night randomly throughout the night and actually shoot Jews or drown them or whatever they do. I'm not going to get into that because I don't want to picture that because I'm not that kind of person, but let's just say that they do that. And then they go up to you and then you are like, oh, can you stop doing that? That's bad. And then they're like, oh no, I like it. Does that justify that person to do that? Like, you be 100% okay with like him or her doing that kind of stuff to those kind of people? No, you wouldn't be. So what his argument there, or his ironic statement was, you know, if I like it, I'm going to do it. Then there's a lot of people out there that like to rape children and so on like that. Are you going to support them as well? Because, you know, your statement justifies your own, you know, option and value on life. I don't know, it's just...
With the whole hunting thing, the animals aren't in factory farming, which is fantastic. Now in Australia, they're not locked up in cages like a lot of vegans like us to believe. They're all basically just scattering around the joint, being very dumb individuals. But anyway, moving swiftly onwards, the hunter turns up. This animal's never seen a human person before, shoots them, they're dead. They don't have to go through the horrible death process that they probably would have had to go through anyway, of starving and dying from disease or whatever, and they are dead, gone, and consumed. They are consumed by the human, gives us energy, and then when we die, we are consumed by other animals, and thus life continues for everybody. That is the circle of life.
Do you think this is a good thing?
Yeah, of course it's a good thing. If you're against animal cruelty, animal abuse, and just killing innocent animals and breeding them, exploiting them, then you, by default, should be a vegan.
This is Joey's point, and this is always Joey's point. If you like animals, then you should be an animal activist. But I've said this before, and I'll say it again. If you are a vegan, then you should not kill any animals. Joey kills animals all the time. I'm sure he's killed a cockroach this year. I'm sure he squashed a little spider every now and then. He might have even stepped on an ant. Or
Goodness. Okay, Isaac, if you're watching this, which you won't be watching it because, you know, I'm just a shitty YouTuber and so on, but your statement there, or your concept on, you know, oh, if you're vegan, you can't kill any animals. Well, yes, that's true. But accidentally stepping on a cockroach, or if you have, like, mouse or mice or whatever, or rats in your house, or a lot of cockroaches, and they're eating your food and they're actually affecting your life, then maybe I'm highly against it, because I'm not like that. But if they are disturbing you and affecting your health, then maybe you can get rid of them, but get rid of them in an ethical way by not killing them, but actually relocating them, or putting one of those high frequency plugins so they can't stand the noise, so they move to the next house over, pretty much. But accidentally stepping on an ant or a cockroach, or killing animals while driving and so on, that's not in your control. But the one thing that is in control is what you eat every single day. Okay, that's in your control. For some people, they don't have an option to not eat meat and all that because they live with their parents or something like that. And yes, that's a good enough excuse. You don't have an option. You can identify and say it, but if nothing happens, then you have no control in it. But things that you aren't in control about, you can't be in control about. So you can be vegan and kill animals because you're not in control of it. Like, you accidentally killed them, or you probably killed them without knowing that you killed them because, well, accidents happen because they're accidents. But things that you are in control about, like supporting the meat industry where you actually kill billions and billions and billions to trillions of animals each year, then maybe you have a choice to go, well, I have in control of this. I might take control and stop eating these animals. So your statement there does not make any sense, Isaac, and I hope one day you'll actually wake up to that and actually go, oh, actually, what I just said.
Like you, Joey, you'll happily go and eat a slice of bread that, in the creation of that slice of bread, killed thousands upon thousands of little animals and pesticides and all that shit. But that's okay. You can kill those animals, that's fine. Because vegans don't give a shit about those little insects and shit. Fuck them. But don't you go around killing cows. You better not do that. I'm exactly the same.
Oh my god, Isaac. Again, with the statement that I just said, which is a very logical statement, you can't be 100% vegan, okay? So some of your choices that you do may affect animals. Not large animals, land animals and so on, but small animals like insects and so on, like ants and bugs and worms and so on. They're all sentient, yes. Some of them are, and some of them don't actually have a sentient, lifelike, brain functioning life. They're mostly like just, I don't know, whatever. But I'm not going to get into that because I don't have the science there. So what I do have is that you'll eventually accidentally kill a few animals to feed yourself as a vegan. You can also grow your own food and then not kill any animals. But by eating bread, yes, we might have to harvest wheat and so on, and flour and all that kind of stuff. And in the process of that, it might kill some foxes and ants and bugs and worms and whatever creatures that are actually living around there. But we're not doing it on purpose. We're not thinking about it. We're not actively supporting it. But unlike you, like, you eat meat, so you support innocent beings getting killed every single day, and you're happy with it, which means it tells quite a lot about you as well. But like, if you're vegan and you have nothing to eat, then you'll eventually die. So you can't be 100% vegan. No one on earth has ever been 100% vegan. Okay, so you can be 90% vegan and accidentally kill animals if it's necessary, or it's unnecessary because it's an accident, because you don't know about it. But if you do know about it, and is this
Same as you, Joey. I just think it's okay to kill like 4 more animals than you do. We would get along like nothing else, mate. We could cheers glasses or cheers crack pipes, that's something you'd be into.
How long have you been a vegan?
I've been vegan for 6 years and I'm healthier than ever.
Rachel, what's your view on veganism or veganuary?
Well, I have nothing against anyone's personal choice, how they choose to manage their health, or what they choose to eat, basically.
I think Rachel here is speaking for most of us when she says, do whatever you, I'll paraphrase, do whatever you want, eat whatever you want, but shut the fuck up, vegans. That's it.
They have the right to choose as well what's best for me. The interesting thing is, I actually was a vegetarian when I was younger for the same amount of years as Joey's been a vegetarian.
I'm not a vegetarian, I'm a vegan.
I'm not a vegetarian, I'm a vegan. All right, Joey, what are you, 60 years old, you little pussy? Look at your fragile heart snap there, little man.
Agile freaking topic. Somebody calls you a vegetarian, you're still in the process of killing innocent beings by drinking their milk and then taking their children away from them and then getting a freaking bolt gun in their freaking head, and then you're also supporting slavery. So as being a vegan, it's completely different. We don't do any of that bullshit. So for somebody to identify us, or accidentally identify us as a vegetarian, is that they have no studies what a vegan is.
Little man, how precious.
Okay, I'm ending the video there because it only has another 2 minutes anyways, but it's just going to go into him hating Joey even more, and going into all these topics, and this bitch that's on this freaking television show with Joey is not giving him any time to speak his point of the argument, or the interview, I guess. So I don't want to really watch her. She drives me a little bit crazy. And by saying the rest of it, because it's just going to drive me nuts, and it's just going to be bittering and all that, or against each other, not getting any words out, and it's all scrambled and all that. But for you, Isaac, I have one thing to say to you. Okay, when you're about 40 or 50 or 80 years old, let's say, if you can make it that long because you're such a mediator, then you're probably going to be very obese, and heart diseases and blood diseases and cancers and all that kind of stuff. But if you do make it till 80 and all that, and at that time we're living under a freaking dome from The Simpsons or that stupid TV series which is called Under the Dome, and we're breathing recycled filtered air that we recycled from, I don't know, garbage or something like that, in the near future, because 2040 is literally the last civilization on planet Earth, meaning there's no fish in the ocean, all the trees will be about only 20% of the world population will be trees, meaning that the air will be more dense and more, we wouldn't be able to breathe as normal, so we'd be all living in recycled buildings made of freaking recycled air and shit like that. At that time, would you look back in your life and go, yeah, no, I wouldn't change anything? Or would you actually change your value in life a long, long, long time ago, and probably consider going vegetarian or vegan? Like, vegetarian is still as bad, but at least it's slowly turning into a vegan, and that's okay. But if you eventually do turn vegan, then that's cool. Isaac, because it's better for you and it's better for everyone else. And if you say that you're not selfish and you're not stuck up and you're not like this, stuck-up person, and you have logic and you think you're smart, then maybe prove us all wrong and actually go vegan, because that will be proving us that you actually are smart and you're not selfish. Because for you to eat meat at this stage and then deny about veganism is a good thing or anything like that, you're denying yourself of being intelligent, and you're also denying other people's values on you being selfish. So if you want to prove us wrong, please go vegan for a month, just for 1 month, and see how it goes. And if it's so hard for you, then maybe stop making vegan reaction videos. But if it isn't, then maybe you should support it and link it down below. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching this reaction video. It's probably long. The original video went for about 12 minutes. My video probably went for 22 minutes or something like that, but hopefully I edited it correctly. And his link, Isaac link, will be down below, and Joey CARBSTRONG will be down below as well, and to the original videos too. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and subscribe to Joey, and if you really want to, you can subscribe to Isaac, but if you're a vegan supporter, then don't support him, because he obviously doesn't support us. Anyways, bye. It's kind of like the lesser evil, but there's no such thing as lesser evil. But anyways, we won't get into that. Let's keep watching this very long video. Again, Isaac, okay, so if we vegans shut the fuck up, as you put it, imagine if, look, let's use that statement that you just made and use it against women's rights. If the first woman didn't stand up about her rights, thinking that I shouldn't be a slave to the average man, we wouldn't have women's rights now. We wouldn't have LGBT rights either if no one stood up, and we wouldn't have any human rights either at all. You wouldn't even have the rights to make a video about something so traumatic and so awful for views and money. You wouldn't have the rights to do that, because if no one stood up with like, hey, I want to do this because freedom of information and it's part of my human rights, then well, you wouldn't be, because no one stood up in the first beginning of it. But for you to state that, us vegans should just shut the fuck up, or as this lady is identifying as, she didn't put it that way, but she's also saying, maybe we should just shut the fuck up. Well, how about meat eaters, omnivores, carnivores, so on? Why don't you guys shut the fuck up? Because in that sense, you put ads on TV about eating meat, eating Macca's, meat, roast, Christmas roast, this, that, meat, milk, yogurt products, food, meat. You guys never ever shut the fuck up. So for you to say for us to shut the fuck up, maybe you should shut the fuck up, Isaac Butterfield, because like, you're not making any logical sense. Get your facts right before you preach we should shut the fuck up, because if that is so, then I'm guessing you're against women's rights as well, and like, women should just go in the kitchen and just wash up and all that kind of stuff, and they're only objects to us. That's what you're saying. That's your logic.
Also feel